the last day of Christmas Story.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's the last day of Christmas Story. It's the last day of Christmas Story. Thank God. I love doing shows. I love mixing musicals. It's a great time. When you do the same show 20-some times, night in, night out, it starts to get a little old. Quite over this one.
I also wanted to say thank you. It's been a pleasure working with all of you. Thank
you. Pretty sure this show is sold out, which is great for a closing show. Bigger crowds, more energy. Better show. Okay, so here's my rig rundown for A Christmas Story. I'm gonna do one of these videos for each of our main stage productions to take you through the board, show you what we're doing, what kind of inputs I have, what my band looks like, how many body mics I'm using, etc., etc. So for almost every single show that we do, my first 8 channels are going to stay the same. These are my boundary and hanging mics. I've got 3 boundary mics on the apron, and then I've got 4 hanging mics. 1 in dead center of the deck, 1 stage right, 1 stage left, and then 1 up center. So then for my band section, I've got drums, bass, keyboard, and a horn section. So for my drums, since it's the drummer has a small kit, I don't need tom mics for him. So kick, snare, overhead. Kick and snare, I'm using SM58 for the kick and a 57 for the snare. I don't need a huge kick sound for this musical specifically, so choosing a 58 on the kick for right now. A Rode NT1, I believe it is. It's a pencil condenser mic on the overhead. I'm using a DI for the bass and for the keys. For my horn section, I have 2 Rode NTG3 shotgun mics in an XY configuration pointed at the section. My first 8 channels here are my wireless body mics. These are all lavalier headset mics. Then I've got 2 Omni microphones backstage for pit singers. Then these are scenery microphones for a couple of different scenes with lots of singing in one specific place. I'm using a medium amount of compression on the vocal mics, not too much because I do still like to keep the musicals feeling dynamic. Same thing with my scenery and backstage mics. Also using some delay and reverb effects for some slow motion stuff throughout the show to accentuate the effect. That's all of my inputs. I'll take you through the band loft here in a minute.
you. Get this out. Start working on that.
Taking down the set from Christmas Story. Here's the band pit, by the way. So, here's our pit. Excuse the noise. There's a drum kit, SM57. Here's my bass DI. The way we have his DI set up right now is that his output is going directly to the board. He's got a split coming into the amp that's only for his monitoring. So I'm taking his bass directly into the board. I've got nothing coming from the amp. Here are my shotgun mics that I was talking about. This is where the horn section sits. And then here's where the music director sits. So yeah, that's the band pit. Okay, so we just struck the set. So happy to be done with this show. Don't get me wrong, it's a cute show. Music is fine. It gets old after a while. The next show I'll be doing is Last Train to Nibrock. It's a straight play with lots of sound design, like non-stop soundscapes and sound effects and stuff like that. I'll be mixing other things here and there, concerts in and out, those kinds of things. I'm very excited to do this next show. I'm gonna go a little overboard, I think, on purpose. I'll share more details as we get closer. Also hope you liked my rig rundown. I'm gonna do one of those for each show that we do in main stage so you can see what the board looks like. I find it interesting myself. I think other gearheads will find it interesting. I wish today's video had been a little bit longer. There was a lot of stuff happening and I didn't get a chance to film.